Alright, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this video, all praise, honor, and glory goes into Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, taught us his truth, as well as the sincere salutations to the elder bishops, along with you brothers who are laboring all throughout the four winds of the earth in sincerity and in faith. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Baraka Thumb. And to you brothers. Alright, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. The title of this video letter, this video epistle, alright, lesson is entitled Esau and his secret societies are no longer a secret. Right, because Esau Edom, he's been revealed, first and foremost as the devil that the Bible speaks of, the so-called white man. Esau Edom as a nation is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And all these different groups, right, such as the Bilderberg group, Club of Rome, these different councils, whether it be these different councils on foreign relations, all these different quote-unquote think tanks, right? It's been revealed that this is a gathering of Edomites, right? And they believe that they're doing it all. Yet Yahweh Hashem Yahushua ultimately is swaying the minds of these men to believe that they're setting this up, when in reality, they're just pawns. Esau Edom, he's the wicked, man. He's set up to be the wicked. He's set up, to do these things. Yet the pride on Esau Edom has him believing that, this is his doings. All right, so I'm going to just play this video. It's a real short video. Just going into one of many of these quote-unquote secret groups, which this is common knowledge now. All right, now of course, the average Babylonian doesn't know that these are Edomites. Yet if you just were to walk around and just to ask somebody, okay, hey, do you know anything about these different secret societies? Most people will say, oh yeah, I know about, whatever the case is. Like the words New World Order, that's common. Those are common words now. Yet through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, only the elect of the nation of Israel can tie these things to the scriptures in 100% accuracy, right? The right format. Okay, and teach these things, right, and to edify the elect. So the elect edifies the elect, all right? So Lord's will, you're edified. I'm going to go ahead and play it. Get a little bit more insight, Salakia, into this group. And it just so happened that I chose this video because it was quick. But just get a little bit of info on it. These different quote-unquote secret societies, which is no longer a secret. All right, go ahead and play it.
What is the Club of Rome?
And Salaki, you can tell by the way that this video is set up. It's an older video.
Turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. According to its website, the Club of Rome was created in 1968. It was intended to be an informal association of independent leading personalities from politics, business, and science, sharing a common concern for the future of humanity and the planet. In other words, a think tank. and the club has been busy. Since its founding, the Club of Rome has released 33 reports on the future of civilization. The most famous of these is a book called The Limits to Growth, which studies the consequences of unlimited economic and population growth. On the surface, the club's work is well-intentioned. However, to its critics, the Club of Rome is much more than that. Here's where it gets crazy. Like the Bilderberg Group or the Committee of 300, the Club of Rome often crops up in conspiracy theories. The club has, for some time, predicted that a new global system will be needed to address looming worldwide problems such as pollution and resource scarcity. Specifically, statements like the following from The Limits to Growth send chills up the spine of those worried about a new world order. We are convinced that we are in the early stages of the formation of a new type of world society, which will be as different from today's as was that ushered in by the Industrial Revolution from the society of the long agrarian period that preceded it, in the decades since its publication.
And that's why, they constantly speak on the fourth Industrial Revolution, in which, they just want to go digital and have full control. Yet the Lord is going to put a stop to Esau's madness coming soon.
This book has fueled numerous theories as well as accusations from critics. For example, Lyndon LaRouche has accused the Club of Rome of masterminding an anti-growth conspiracy that hinges on the spreading of false and alarmist news about climate change. Often the dire predictions of their most famous book are used as evidence, but how well has The Limits to Growth predicted the future? In a 1997 article, The Economist notes that the Club of Rome made woefully incorrect predictions about oil shortages by 1990, and additionally was wrong about silver, tin, uranium, natural gas, and more. However, in 2008, the New Scientist noted a study by Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation found that their data supported the book's forecast of economic collapse. Predicting the future is a tricky thing, and history is ripe with stories of incorrect guesses about everything from the end of the world to the fall of humanity. According to LaRouche and others, however, the Club of Rome is more than just a think tank. It is an integral part of something the world's leaders don't want you to know. The Club of Rome.
And who are the world's leaders? All right, the international banking elite. All right, the top, the cream of the crop when it comes to Esau, Edom. All right. When you think of the wicked, when you think of the Edomites, not only is it, these Joe Sixpack Edomites, all right, but also all the way at the top, all right, at the tippity top of the nation of Esau, Edom, you have, which they call themselves the elite. They're not elite, man. Y'all are, future slaves. So let me go ahead and get a couple precepts, and then I already have it queued up. What I had asked the chat. This is the book of Psalms chapter 64. Salakia. Psalms chapter 64 and verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O Yahweh Shem Yahushai, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Yeah, that's one of the things that we pray for. Right, that the Lord shields us. Right, Lord's will we be of the elect of the nation of Israel. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, which, ultimately going into the elite. And then the elite basically pay these different individuals to do their bidding. Such as these different, and they mentioned a few of them, these different groups. But basically, these people are employees of the elite, and they push out, they push out what the elite basically say. So basically, the elite don't do no real work. They chill. They just direct everybody to do what they do. The elite ain't clocking in. Let me clock in for 12 hours. Let me sit here and do this think tank. No, they just, because they print the money. They own the money. So they just pay these different people to basically do their bidding. And the people that they're paying ain't just regular 9-to-5 individuals, so to speak. No, it's doctors, lawyers, right? That went to all these different prestigious schools. Psalm 64:3, who whet their tongue like a sword, and in these think tanks, what they're thinking about is putting hell upon the children of Israel. That's all they think about. How can we put more hell on the Israelites? How can we make it worse? How can we ruin how can we ruin everything more? What else can we put in the air? What else can we put in the water? In the food? What else can we put in the media? To sway these people's minds in a wicked way. That's how Esau be thinking. Okay, what can I do to lead the Israelites astray from their power? That's the mindset of Esau Edom. All right, Psalm 64:3, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Yeah, so this is done in secret. And not only that, they tell you that they trying to help you. Here it is, Esau putting hell on you all damn day, all night. Yet he's saying, he's trying to help you. Damn liar. All right, the perfect of the Israelites. And more specifically the elect, because 2/3 of Israel then just gave up. Right? 2/3 of Israel, Esau got them. All right, that's why it's going to take the Lord to destroy them. All right, and for the 2/3 to come back through the loins of the elect in the kingdom. That's when they're going to bounce back. But as far as down here on this side, 2/3 is right. It is right where Esau wants them to be. It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. So they encourage themselves. Why? Because it's seen as righteous to them. Right? To put hell upon the Israelites, to delete them, to put hell on the whole earth. Because you other nations, you catching hell from Esau as well. All right? Even though you get certain benefits, you living decent, you catching hell too. All right? They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They got all these different clubs, these different events, different institutes. Right? They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. Yeah, how can we put more hell on them? All right, what can we do? How can we make it worse? All right, it's a constant thing that's in their mind. And on the contrary, on the right-hand side, right, with the men of the Lord, starting off with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, we're constantly thinking about righteousness, right? Esau Edom is constantly thinking about wickedness. It says, Psalm 64:5 at the end, they say, who shall see them? Yeah, once again, society. See, these secret societies, they ain't secret no more. It's all out on the forefront. And that's part of Esau's pride, man. He does certain things and he just puts it all out there. This nigga bold. Says they search out iniquities. Yeah, once again. Okay, how can we make them go off? Okay, that's why they have these different scholars, these top scholars, looking over the scriptures and saying, okay, how can we make it so that the Israelites go off? All right. It says they accomplish a diligent search. So Esau, you know, he does all sorts of searches. Okay, and he uses that left hand wisdom, you know, in order to, you know, push wickedness. Esau Edom knows certain things and he uses that information against children of Israel. It says both the inward thought of every one of them. So the inward thought of every single one of you so-called white people, right? Edomites, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart, right, which goes to their mind, is deep. So Esau Edom, make no mistake, Esau Edom ain't no dumbass. All right, these Edomites are extremely intelligent. A very worthy adversary is Esau Edom, especially once again at the tippity top. Very worthy. Very worthy is this adversary. He definitely earned his right to be the top enemy of the Israelites, man. This nigga, he's just, his evil is just beyond measure. You know, it's constant. Every time you turn around, here this damn devil go. Putting more hell, tighter, constricting more and more. Things are only getting worse and worse here in Babylon the Great, aka America, right? It's getting worse and worse. Psalm 64:7. But Yahweh Shai shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. Yeah, and that part of that pride, you know, they speaking all these things and you being exposed. Esau run his damn mouth too much. He's sitting here having all these different meetings. And in fact, you know, the Spirit just had me think about C-SPAN. I remember growing up, you know, and of course brothers can attest to this. You know, growing up, you might have had grandparents, parents that used to watch C-SPAN, and you know, folks will click through the channels, you know, and each channel they click on, they might sit and okay, let's watch this for 3-4 minutes. But when it came to C-SPAN, especially Jake skipped right over that shit. Because to them, it seems like, oh, it's boring. You know, oh, they ain't talking about shit. When in fact, that's on live, they just put a camera right there telling you, okay, we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to put more hell on them. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Right there in your face. You know, and that's part of Esau's pride. He loves to show you what he's doing. Basically, like, I'm showing you what I'm doing, and you can't stop me. That's the mindset of Esau Edom. Who gonna stop me? Who gonna take me out? Who gonna bring me down? Right? Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Woo! That's why all the nations hate you. All right, they're going to show that hate too. The hatred for Babylon the Great, aka America, they're going to show it too. Through them ICBMs. Intercontinental ballistic missiles. Nuclear. All right? And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh Shai Shai, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. Yeah, so We have counsel, starting off from our leadership at Great Millstone, from the elder apostles on down. All right, our leadership has showed us, right, that we gotta consider every matter when it comes to Esau or Edom. Esau don't just do things to do it. It's always a plan with him. He always got a trick up his sleeve. It says, the righteous shall be glad in the Lord. All right, seeking out Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says, and trust in him. All right, which part of that, once again, is trusting in the leadership that the Lord has set up. All right, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, along with the elder bishops. All right, different elder brothers. You know, it says, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Yes, all the upright in the mind. All right, shall glory. We shall glorify Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We ain't glorifying ourselves. What we got to glory about? All right, we ain't nobody. We just servants of the Lord. And Lord's will we be of the elect, you know, in the kingdom. That's when we'll get, you know, our time to shine, so to speak. You know? Daniel 12:3. And they that shall slack it, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. All right, going into, and it says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. Going into the elect. All right, the 144,000, 12,000 out of each tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. All right, which are the Israelites. That don't include you other nations. That's speaking about the Israelites. And in the kingdom, all right, you heathens, you're gonna be forced to be righteous. You're gonna be forced to be righteous. You ain't gonna have no choice, man. I'm gonna just go to the chat, and it's just one page. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it. So I just typed in Club of Rome. I didn't type in anything else. But just like the video was speaking on, it's an international think tank founded in 1968. Groups of scientists, business people, and public officials. Platform of 150 thought leaders and change makers. All right, scientists, economists, business leaders, policy makers, civil society figures. It says working for global equity for a peaceful and healthy planet. Which when in the hell, right, have we seen a peaceful and healthy planet? All right, Esau, this nigga constantly putting hell on the children of Israel. He talking about, peaceful and healthy. Ain't nothing peaceful and ain't nothing healthy about Esau. Nigga is the devil. I'm gonna put I just put alleged because if I put, if I just put list of secret societies, it'll probably say, oh, it ain't, what we don't know. So I just put alleged because we know that these are, real. The Illuminati, Freemasons, Skull and Bones. Right, doing these rituals, Bilderberg Group, Right, it says annual private meetings of elites since 1954, which at these Bilderberg groups, that's when they come up with the different ideas to make the Club of Rome, because it said that the Club of Rome was the 60s, so they was probably up in the Bilderberg group, meetings talking about, okay, what other groups, what other little clubs can we make to further put hell on the Israelites. All right, it says Bohemian Club, Rosicrucians, Knights Templar, Thule Society. All right, Skull and Bones, Scroll and Key, Seven Society, Book and Snake, Porcelain Club, which ultimately, it's headed and ran by these international banking elite. That's who's bankrolling all this, because all this needs money, and in order for all these things to take place, right, it has to be financed, right? Which Esau Edom, of course, got all the money. All right, once again, they own the banks, they own the Federal Reserve, they own everything. All right, the money, the central bankers, they own, right, everything. So they they have a sense of pride, they have a sense of control, right? They believe that they're running everything, and they are running everything, because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So for right now, for this little season, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed so-called white man, the elite, banking elite, right now, it's shown that they're running the show at the moment. Yet this damn devil about to get knocked out the way. We know that that's coming, and we know that Esau, Edom, bringing about this CHIP on a worldwide scale. We know that's coming too. All right, so we already know the wiles of the devil. We know this nigga's tricks. All right, and that's why we prepare ourselves spiritually through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, getting into the scriptures, watching the videos, studying, praying, increasing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because these damn devils, they increasing in their wickedness. So of course, to combat that, we're going to increase in righteousness through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Our Lord's will, this was edifying. Call halal, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Once again, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, as well as a sincere salutations to the elder bishops, along with all you sincere Akim out there. Keep pushing, keep believing, all right? Keep pushing towards Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Lord's will we be of the elect. The Lord is rewarding us, every day, every hour, every minute, every second, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Lord's will we be of the elect. So with that, Abba Ball and Kwam Yashala. Shalom.